All right, happy day 11, everyone. Before I get started today, I'm going to talk about something that's a repeat of something I talked about last week. But when I did it last week, my screen recording was frozen, so none of my notes were being shown. Nothing that I was making reference to was visible, so I'm going to redo it again today. And today I'm just going to do the first part of that. Really the interesting question that we're getting at is Japanese tonal? That's kind of the question I'm setting out to answer. But today I'm going to do something that's just kind of a piece before that that I kind of need to talk about before what I'm going to say about whether Japanese tonal will make sense. And this is supposed to come after a video that I did successfully record last week just about the basics of the sound system in Japanese, just the vowels and the consonants. So I will link that in the description here, and I think I'll probably make a playlist actually with all the videos about the sound system in Japanese. But yeah, today I'm going to talk about the concept of a mora. So mora basically is just a unit of length. If you've ever heard a haiku described in an English class, if you've ever been told to write a haiku in the English language, you have almost certainly been lied to about what a haiku is. You've probably been told that to write a haiku you have to count syllables, when in reality the concept of haiku from Japanese counts moras, not syllables. A mora is not a syllable. There can be multiple moras in a syllable, but it's kind of a similar concept in that it is a unit of length. And in spoken Japanese, each mora is spoken for roughly the same amount of time. Not all languages really have the concept of moras. I would say English doesn't really. English uses stress more to assign length to sounds and sequences of sounds. I've heard that in Spanish, generally every syllable is just the same length, so different languages break up time in different ways. But for Japanese, the way that you assign time to sounds is the concept of a mora. So what is a mora? It's basically something that you have one or more of in a syllable. So I think the easiest way to discuss it is by example, and I have some examples here. So just a plain vowel, like O. Oh, by the way, this table I made, maybe I'll zoom in even closer for the resolution challenged among you. So most of these I think are words in Japanese, but it doesn't really matter whether or not they're real words. I kind of just threw these in. Some of them might be nonsense, but the point is just the sounds, and I'm going to talk about how the sounds would get broken up. So if you just have a simple vowel, O, or any vowel, any single vowel is just going to have one mora. Now, if you add a consonant before the vowel, it does not change the number of moras that are there in that sequence of sounds. So yo or ko, those both also have one mora. Adding the consonant doesn't change anything. Even if you add two consonants in the specific circumstance where you have one consonant followed by a ya sound, that still does not add any extra mora. So kyo, just one mora. So how do you get another mora in your syllable? One way is with a long vowel. So if you have a syllable like ko or kyo, those are two moras because the length of the vowel adds a second mora. So you can see I've kind of broken these down by moras. Ko, kyo. There, you can think of those as two moras in that syllable. Similarly, if you have two vowels put together, koi, kai, koe, whatever, any two vowels, that's going to be two moras, because the rule is each short vowel is just its own mora. And so if you have multiple of them, they each just have their own mora. If you have 3 or 4 or have many vowels in sequence, if they're all short, each of them just has one mora, and if any of them are long, they have 2, and you just add them all up. If you have this nasal sound that's usually written as an N at the end of a syllable, like in the syllable kong, that has 2 moras, kong. Now that N-ish sound that appears at the end of a syllable is not to be confused with the N that you might get at the beginning of a syllable, but like a syllable beginning in N, the ong just has the nasal at the end of the syllable just has 1 mora. So kong, kono, both of those have 2 moras. Lastly, for 2 moras, this is hopefully pretty self-evident, but if you have 2 syllables, koko, that has 2 moras, just because each syllable has its mora, you add it together. Here's just one more example on the same principle. If there's a word kono with a doubled N, that's 3 moras. You have the ko, the syllable ending n, and then the next syllable no. And then lastly, if you have any other doubled consonant, that also adds a mora. So koko you could think of as having 3 moras, ko, go. So yeah, I mean that's basically the building blocks. Any word or phrase of any length in Japanese is going to be built of these parts, so you can pretty easily figure out how many moras it has. One note that I want to make about doubled consonants that I didn't really explicitly mention when I talked about just the set of consonants and vowels in Japanese and the fact that some consonants can be doubled is that this special doubling sound that now that I'm a little further along, I've actually seen it appear in some places. So a lot of times you'll get this doubling sound when maybe you have a kanji that has like a ku or a ki or a tsu or a chi as the end, as the second syllable of the kanji's pronunciation. A lot of times that will just get turned into a doubling of the next consonant. So think of let me write this out in kanji, or even I can go to Wiktionary here and talk about the word gakko, meaning school. So this is composed of 2 characters. And here, I'll zoom in on this. Wiktionary says that basically the first character is pronounced ga with this like doubling sound at the end, so 2 moras, and then the second character is pronounced ko, 2 moras. But you can't just end a word or whatever with this doubling sound in Japanese. So how is this character pronounced normally by itself in Japanese? Gaku. And you even see this in some compounds. Student, gakusei, I think. Anyway, you can see there's plenty of compounds here. Gakugyo, gakuge, I don't even know what these mean. But where you're getting this gaku pronunciation of the kanji. And yeah, so you'll see that a lot. You'll see chi or tsu at the end of a syllable often just get smushed into the consonant following it and will become a doubling of that consonant. And that's one of the ways where you get this doubling sound in Japanese that I write, that Wikipedia writes with a capital Q. However, this doubling sound cannot apply to all consonants. It can really only apply to 4, which are pa, ta, ka, and sa, with a couple of caveats. Let me type in these caveats to my notes, actually. Often an H preceded by this doubling sound will become a P. I think an example of this is the word, I think it is shippai, where this character on its own is just pronounced hai. And the reason for that, I've mentioned this before, is that historically, the H sound, ha, in Japanese, was a P. And there are circumstances where that P sound can reappear. One of those is this doubling. So when you add, how is this normally pronounced, this character? Right, shichi or shitsu plus hai becomes shippai. So that's one note. The other is, I kind of have it here, because, as I said in my previous video that I'll link, cha and sha sounds in Japanese are just ta and sa with a y or an I after them. So T, it's not T, it's chi. It's not tyo, it's cho. So those can also be doubled by a preceding doubling sound, but I'm not really counting that as extra consonants because those are really just variations of some of the consonants listed here in this list of 4. Okay, so that's just a side note about the doubling consonant. You see some other sounds doubled, notably N. You see doubled like here, but this is not what I've been calling the doubling sound. It's not the capital Q, the thing that you get from ku. So you wouldn't do like gaku and then something starting with N wouldn't become gan, whatever, gan no. It's doubled in a different circumstance, which is this syllable ending N sound. So 2 different kinds of doubling happening. Yeah, okay, so that's pretty much all mora is. That's all I wanted to say about the doubling sound. The last thing I have here is just more kind of a, not a philosophical note, but just a thought for anyone learning Japanese. I think there's a temptation when learning any new language to ignore sounds or distinctions in sounds that you are not used to, and just to try to make the best of the language without them. In my experience, I know a lot of people who studied Mandarin for years and basically did their best to ignore tones until they became sufficiently advanced that they needed tones. Like they had several words that they wanted to distinguish between. They had a lot of like pairs of words that they were not able to tell the difference between except for tone. And the fact that they had not invested in paying attention to tone caught up to them. And the same thing is true in Japanese, and length contrasts for people who speak languages like English that don't distinguish length in vowels and or don't distinguish length in consonants. So as an example, here is 2 words that are distinguished by the length of a vowel. Kyo is residence, kyo is today. So it's important to be able to distinguish those words from each other. Similarly, kita means arrived versus kita means sliced. So just I don't know, it feels weird to call it advice because I don't know Japanese, but just a general piece of language learning advice. Try to pay attention to this stuff. Try not to ignore distinctions in sound that are confusing to you because it will catch up to you. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I'll get into doing sentences. I've already actually done almost everything I need to do today. I just need to do 40 new ones. So that's what I'll be doing now. Hopefully it won't take too long. 병원はここから
病院はここから近い。
近い。Thank goodness OBS is still working. If my screen had frozen for the second time, I'd be really mad. It was frozen before I started streaming, but I restarted it. 건요? 이마 여름? 건양? Restaurant ni ikoyo.
今夜はレストランに行こうよ。
Yeah. So this word raises an interesting note. That I'll add actually one more thing here. There's a distinction between so in this case, the two syllables here are kong, yo, or ya, right? Kong, ya. And that's different than if you had ko, nya. Those sound different, although I won't try to necessarily say the difference between them myself. Maybe after the stream I might find words to put in here to illustrate the difference and links to a native Japanese speaker pronouncing them. But just to point out, like, these would be different in kanji, or sorry, in kana. These would be written differently. I'm struggling unnecessarily with this. Yeah, right. Versus this would be go. Yeah, right. Okay, so these are two distinct pronunciations. Yeah, I'll try to find links to a speaker saying these. And you'll often see these written differently. So people won't use dashes to separate syllables like this. But a lot of times if you're looking at Japanese transcribed into the English alphabet, you'll see a little apostrophe to mean that, like, hey, this N is separate from the next thing. So you actually see this in the word that I've said a lot, because you see it on Wiktionary. If we look at the pronunciation of a single character, I guess actually it's not written like that, but the concept of onyomi, this is something I'll talk about in the future. Right. Probably next week I'll do a little video intro about this. Anyway, it just is a particular kind of reading of a kanji. It's a reading of a kanji the way it is pronounced in Chinese. But the point I'm trying to make is this word that I've already brought up before is written like this with this apostrophe, because the breakdown of this into syllables is not o, nyo, mi, or if you prefer the breakdown of it into moras, is not o, nyo, mi. It's on, yo, mi. So 4 moras instead of 3, and this N belongs to the previous syllable, not to the next one. Anyway, just a little note that made me think of that I wanted to throw in there. Yeah, okay. Yori. This must mean schedule. Hmm.
予定より進んでいる。
Yote. Okay, that makes sense. Based on knowledge I have these characters in Chinese. Yote yori susundeiru. Oh, I don't think I've seen. I don't know if I've seen this kind of construction, at least, expressing the meaning of like to have. But let's see, it's probably I don't know which of these it is actually.
壁に耳あり。
But this is actually a pretty common way in a lot of languages to express the idea of having something. Is that there's not a verb that means have. You just say like at it or with it or whatever. There is something. So here we're saying at the walls there are ears. Assuming that this is a literal translation. I don't know what this means yet. Okay, yeah. Kabe ni mimi aru. Ari. Ari?
壁に耳あり。
What is ari? I don't know why this is Ari and not Aru. Anyway. Kabe ni mimi ari. Dashi igai minna
私以外みんな忙しい。
忙しい。Guy. Dashi gai minna isogashi.
私以外みんな忙しい。
時間よ。出かける時間よ。
出かける時間よ。
時間よ。出かける時間よ。彼らは
典型的な若者です。
典型的典型的な若者です。
彼らは典型的な若者です。
若者です。どうぞ。
はいどうぞ。
はいどうぞ。Very interesting sentence. Certainly not a literal translation. はい、どうぞ。私はこの女性
私はこの女性労働者たちの健康について心配しないわけにはいかない。
It's a very long sentence. 私はこの女性労働労働労働者たちの健康について心配 Oh my god, I'm kind of losing track of this sentence. 心配はいがないわけにはいOkay, these female workers, their health, about, について, what's this? 心配しない don't care about. わけにYeah, I don't quite, I mean, this is obviously negative here, but I don't know if this is Haika or what. Yeah. Wake ni haikanai. Huh. Alright, well, maybe if I see more of these pieces, I'll figure out how to divide up the sentence later. I mean, I think I got about 75% of the way there, but I don't quite know about this ending. Mazu first. Mazu should forget this compound, but this is the shuku reading of this. Mazu o
まず出席を取ります。
出席を取る take 取れません Yep 取りますまず出席を取りますこれは
誤りだ。
誤りだ。これは誤りだ。 彼の提案彼の提案に同意
彼の提案に同意する。
同意する。同意する。彼の提案に同意する。彼は車をやめた or 止めた
彼は車を止めた。
彼は車を止めた。
投資には橋が多い。
都市には橋が多い。トムは
客だ。
トムは客だ。トムは客だ。バチせたとえlet's say バチ I don't know why
たとえ火の中、水の中。
Oh. What if this has anything to do with Tatoeba, which is the database where these sentences came from? Oh, okay. For example. I would bet that is related, yes. Tatoe. Example. たとえ火の中火の中水の中
彼は演説した。
演説した彼は演説した彼は大した
彼は大した学者だ。
大した彼は大した学者だ彼は国中I don't know what reading this is 彼は
彼は国中を旅した。
I think most of these nouns that get used with suru I've seen are Chinese readings, but this is a native reading being used with suru. Kind of interesting. 旅する。国、国州 Oh. This is another mixed reading, I think. Shoot, I didn't even see that reading anywhere. Oh, 国中。
彼は国中を旅した。
国中。Oh. Yeah, interesting.国中を旅した。
1000万円くらいかな？
一千万円
1000万円くらいかな？
1000万円くらいかな。1000万円。I think this is a myriad system. I think this is 1,000 and this is 10,000. これは
誤りだ。
誤りだ。これは誤りだ。たとえ火の中。
たとえ火の中、水の中。
水の中。たとえ火の中、水の中。彼をしても無駄だ。
彼を説得しても無駄だ。
説得しても無駄だ。私はむしろここにいたい。
私はむしろここにいたい。
むしろむしろ私はむしろここにいたい。彼女
は使いのものです。
使いのもの。 You're missing a sock? You want to go downstairs and check? Okay. Bye-bye sock. 彼女は疲れ者です。Maybe I'll play out loud now. Sound quality doesn't matter at this point. Hanashi o
話を楽しんでいる。
楽しんでいる。楽しんでいる。楽しむ。楽しむ。いや。話を楽しんでいる。この国の、something economy。
この国の経済状態は悪い。
この国の経済状態は悪い。私はこ
の機械を利用した。
彼はこの機械を利用した。I've seen this already, I think. 利用した。私はこの機械を利用した。
私はこの機械を利用した。
Daughter, oh, I always forget this. Kuruma wa barely. やっと
娘はやっと15歳です。
娘はやっと15歳。
娘はやっと15歳です。
娘はやっと15歳です。やっと narrowly, barely, at last. やっと what does that have to do with やった this might be a Chinese reading, but if it were native it would be higoto. I'll say property. Oh god, who knows?
火事で財産を失った。
Kaji, yep, that's a Chinese reading. Kaji de, I might have seen this actually. Hinokoto, right? Later read with Onyomi. Kaji de Zai-san. Zai-sanを失った。Zai-san、火事。彼の
彼の態度に問題はない。
彼の態度に 問題はない。彼の態度にOK。彼に態度に問題はない。それを
郵便で送ってくれ。
郵便で送ってくれ。送ってくれ。それを郵便で送ってくれ。この国の経済States. That was this. I don't remember how to say it.
この国の経済状態は悪い。
経済状態は悪い。彼の態度
に問題はない。
彼の態度に問題はない。Okay, 10 more. 彼
は歌手の卵だ。
歌手 That's probably a Chinese reading. That's definitely a Chinese reading. 歌手彼は歌手の卵だ。Tamago? An egg. He's a singer egg. Can you guess what that means? Yeah. He's a beginner singer. Ooh, I have no idea here.
理解していただきたい。
いただき。Oh, いただ。That sounds familiar. いただけ。いただく。
Hey, that's that phrase that I told you to learn, or at least part of it.
What?
The beginning. Itadake.
What did you tell me to learn?
I was like, this is the only thing I know how to say in Japanese.
Oh, what was the phrase?
Itadakimasu.
Itadakimasu. And what does it mean?
Well, you said that you're gonna find out. You're gonna.
Oh yeah. All right, this is coming back to me. I think I know now, sort of. I mean, itadakimasu. The problem is that in Japanese, so much can be implied. Like, literally, it just means, like, itadakimasu. Like, receive. With a bunch of politeness thrown on there.
To receive what?
Nothing. It just means receive. And there's, like, 2 layers of politeness thrown on top of it. That's all I got. So that's, I guess I can hold out and see if I see it in context. But itadakimasu. 理解して理解していただきたい。彼女は
彼女は読書が好きだ。
Oh man, I already knew native pronunciations for both these characters. I gotta learn Chinese pronunciations. 読書 する Oh my god. Why not just say 読む 読書が好きだ。彼女は読書が好きだ。彼らは
丘の上に立った。
上 Whoa, I would have said Joe. 上 Okay, that's probably a native, that's definitely a native reading too. Ake no ue. Ake no ue. Oh, I mean oka. Oka no ue. 彼らは丘の上に立ったYeah. Oh. I don't know.
公園の方に足を向けた。
公園 I remember that, sort of. 公園の方 Direction. The direction of the park. 公園の方に
足を向けた。
公園の方に足を向けた。向ける Aha. 向ける is to point something. 向く is to be pointed at. And 足を向ける to point your feet. I pointed my feet in the direction of the park. 公園の方に足を向けた。Okay, great. Let nature be your teacher.
自然を教師としなさい。
自然を
教師としなさい。
自然を教師 Right, I've seen that. 教師と 教師としなさい。OK。視線を教師としなさい。
自然を教師としなさい。
教師としなさい。I need to leave soon. さらに Don't know.
さらに質問はありますか？
What is that? さらに Additional. Okay, well, whatever. さらに質問はありますか？私たちは
大いに笑った。
大いに笑った。大いに笑った。私たちは大いに笑った。笑う or 笑う。Google translates that as LOL. 私にせてください。やらせて。
私にやらせてくれない？
やらせて It's probably a form of やる。やらせる is probably the causative. やらせて is the te form of the causative. Yeah. I see. 私にやらせてください。目が I know uso, but that's not used here. Oh no, it is. It's just spelled in kana.
目が嘘をついていますよ。
嘘をついていますよ。目が嘘をついていますよ。理解していただきたい。理解していただきたい。
理解していただきたい。
理解していただきたい。Alright. That's it for the day.
Good job.
Let's look at my review forecast.
Congrats.
Thank you. Yay. It always, the YouTube video always ends like at least 10 seconds before I hit end broadcast.
Before?
Like, if you go back and watch it, cuts it off after I hit end broadcast.